At long last, I've gotten the air rifle. It was quite the grind, but now to answer the question, is it good? Yeah, sure. Okay, but seriously, how good is this gun? What are its downfalls, and what maps is it actually good on? And how can we make it better? Well, that's what I'm going to be answering today. You know what time it is. Stat time. According to the wiki, which after all my previous weapon videos I can confirm is far more accurate than the misinforming facts on the in-game shop. So yeah, according to the wiki, the air rifle has a maximum damage of 65 damage per pellet, and can be boosted to 130 per pellet with the bugle. It has a reload of 13.4 seconds, that can be boosted to 11 seconds with the 5, and has a penetration of 1. Oof. Anyways, it has a max distance of 300 studs. Oh. Not exactly as accurate as the other gun with rifle in the name, eh? Then there's its spread, which is a minimum of 0.75 degrees. Now, that probably sound like a bunch of nonsense to anybody who doesn't know why those stats matter or what they even mean. So, I'm going to explain them through some good old pros and cons of the air rifle. First pro is that it's really quick at shooting. While the reload may sound like it takes a while, that's only after going through 20 shots. And the only delay being those shots being like 1.5 seconds, don't quote me on that one, it takes to cock the gun again. So yeah, that leads to my next point. It's really, really, really good at taking out bombers. Do I really need to explain this one? Because I kind of did in the last point. Let's say you're one of those line infantry mains who understands that your one main goal as line infantry is to pick off bombers through your teammates and use the bayonet, pike, or heavy saber during officer's charge. If you understand those, primarily the first one for this case, then you can use the air rifle to its true extent by just sitting back and picking off bombers one by one. That's also because the air rifle really favors a playstyle where you sit in the back and help your teammates, rather than trying to rush to the zombies while you're firing. The third and final point is that the high price guarantees that the players who use it are experienced and know what they're doing. Now yes, I will get back to the giant price tag issue, but it's also a really good thing for the air rifle. Now yes, technically it doesn't guarantee that the people who buy it are experienced, but for the most part, the people who use it know what they're doing. So, you know, they probably also understand their true purpose as mentioned a minute ago, but now for where this weapon falls short. The first con is the high price tag. Now, I know I just defended the high price tag, but at the same time, dear lord, 10,000 francs. There's not much explaining on this one. Most people don't want to sell their soul to Barry in order to get this gun, and most people would agree that it kinda needs to be lowered. And this also reminds me, the consumable air canister mechanic is way too expensive. Turns out you owe Bubbles a lot of money, either that or he hates you, but either way he's making even more money through selling air canisters. These bad boys are the second consumable item in G&B, and they're 100 francs. Now, thankfully you always start with one air canister per match and or respawn. Remember that fact for later, okay? However, you kinda need a constant reloading of air canisters, which, by the way, there are two types of reloads for this gun. Pellet reload, where you reload the individual pellets until you reach 20. Then there's the air canister reload, where you can use one of your hard-earned air canisters in order to reset the air pressure meter, in order to keep shooting at max power. That leads straight into my next point. Number 3, it's weak after just a few shots, and is like a pea shooter near the end. Now, the way the air pressure meter affects the gun is that it determines how powerful, accurate, and overall good your shots are. Firing the gun at max air pressure and firing the gun at low air pressure is like shooting the modern brass pistol versus the day one brass pistol. Which reminds me, you should go watch my video on the brass pistol, and on the way, consider subscribing. It helps out the channel a lot. Which, if you didn't know, is a massive difference. Now, while it's still kind of usable on low air pressure, you're gonna need a constant source of air canisters. Sometimes it feels like I do more damage by shoving the zombie rather than shoot it with how weak it is at lower air pressure. Okay, those are the 3 main pros and 3 main cons. Now, let's apply these to more situational things, like what map you're playing on. So for once, I'm going to rank each map based on how good they are with the air rifle on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, yeah. Hugamont, 2 out of 10. Actually, I think I'm gonna wrap all the endless maps into this because the air rifle sucks on all of them. The endless maps have a lot of bombers that need to be killed, sure, but once you run out, well, you run out. I've lost all my money. I can't buy another air canister. I barely make anything on this mode. It's only every 5 rounds that I get paid. I don't want to become a melee-only user. I guess there's only one option left. Barena, 4 out of 10. This thing has the same issues as it does on the endless maps, but at least there's a finite amount of time in Barena, and it doesn't go on until the end of time. Except, of course, when everybody dies. You can also quickly save any teammates with this thing, but really only on high air pressure, and I guess technically that's for all the maps. Farthest Fortress, 6 out of 10. I mean, it's alright during 90% of the map, but it's pretty dang good on the finale. All the bombers heading towards you down the hill, you're in the back sniping them, and your teammates are safe. That is, of course, if you can actually aim the dang thing. Leipzig, 7 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving this a better rating than Vardo is because there are bombers throughout the map, meanwhile Vardo only has them in the finale, and maybe in that church section, though I wasn't able to get footage of that happening. San Sebastian, 8 out of 10. Ooh, nice. We're getting somewhere here. Just like Leipzig, San Sebastian is full of bombers. Better yet, those bombers are in small corridors and passageways rather than large streets, meaning you'll have to take them out even quicker since it's a rare occurrence when everybody in the server manages to have more than half a brain stem and can actually just walk around the bomber. Be careful not to kill any of your teammates next to you. Oh yeah, it's pretty good in the holdout sections, though that was probably a given already. Copenhagen, 8 out of 10. Cope and Hagen. More bombers, more fun. Good luck not to set off every bomber in the map with how close together they are. So yeah, pretty good. Also, you might be able to quickly take out the Brig Sloop crew with the air rifle. Roscoff, 8 out of 10. This is pretty much the same reasoning as Copenhagen and San Sebastian's rating. Roscoff is full of bombers, and you don't want your teammates to get bombed. Catacombs de Paris, 9 out of 10. While bombers don't spawn in the actual catacomb section, thank God, the streets are absolutely crawling with them in the finale. It's close to a sniper's dream, as they're all in one big open area, surrounded by other zombies and bombers that, once set off, may start a chain reaction that can pretty much wipe out the entire street in one massive collection of several explosions. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. The bombers are just right there, and now for the map that I deem the perfect map to use the air rifle on. That being Cowb. 10 out of 10. It is perfect. Just like San Sebastian, Copenhagen, Roscoff, and the finale of Paris, the streets are just full of bombers. Not only that, but the streets can be very narrow, meaning you need something to quickly take out the bombers before your teammates are interesting, and shoot the bombers while their fellow teammates are close by. And all of them bombers on that bridge to the castle. Man, what a sight. Also, the finale is just begging someone to use the air rifle. All the bombers and zombies coming out of the cramped basement. There's a lot of bombers, and you just need to sit back shooting shots at the bombers who only got 1 inch out of the basement door when... It's perfect. 10 out of 10. Now, while this thing has some fun moments and is stupidly good on some maps, there's still those glaring issues. Now, of course, there's the matter of keeping the gun balanced and not turning into just an automatic death ray of zombies, but I do have a couple of ideas of how we can make this thing a tad bit better while not making it under or overpowered. Now, the first possible improvement is to lower the price. I mean, does this even need explaining? Sure, there are some good things about having a high price tag, like I mentioned earlier, but dang it, Bubbles, I can't buy air canisters from you if you have all 10,000 of my francs. Okay, the next one is, hey, Worried Pig. Alright, looks like Worried Pig's gonna be having control over the show right now.
Hello, my name is Worried Pig, and I'm taking over this video. The channel will be next. Anyways, my opinion on the air rifle is actually pretty positive. Because Guts and Blackpowder expects you to grind really hard just to get the air rifle in the first place, you should already know proper aim and trigger discipline to use this gun to its fullest extent. If anything, I think it's a good deterrent for players who are a lot more trigger happy when it comes to guns. And by the way, if you want to grind money, play Surgeon on hardcore objective maps or something. It's mainly in endless mode where the air rifle starts to fall off. After you reload your first canister, you cannot reload it a second time or any further until the next round begins. Because endless rounds can go on for so long the more you play, the air rifle just doesn't compare to the longevity of the other guns for the infantry class. I propose that in endless, and in endless mode only, you should be allowed full access to all of your canisters. On paper this sounds like a huge buff, which could make the air rifle overpowered, but you also have to remember that all the endless maps currently in the game funnel zombies through tight choke points that can make it difficult to hit your intended target, especially with how janky zombie movement can be every now and then. You don't even gain a lot of franks from endless in the first place, which prevents players from making an infinite amount of ammo. Of course, if this is too much of a buff, then I guess you could reduce the pressure consumption from 3.3% to something between 2.5 to 3%, but I'm the kind of guy who likes interesting changes rather than simple ones. That's all from me. Again, my name is Worry Pig. Please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to throw $50 my way if you have access to your parents' credit card. Colt owes me 50,000 Robux for
Don't listen to him. The incident was his fault. Now, one last little improvement that I suggest is that, now, your supplies and your health, they get a little boost every round in endless mode, and you get paid every 5 rounds. So, what if you get an extra air canister every 5 rounds, just like how you get one for each respawn or the start of each match. That way you don't have to, keep on buying them. And yeah, that's my last suggestion. Alright, time to wrap this up. I've been meaning to say this the whole video, but didn't know where to put it. But I think the air rifle is kind of like the knot gun. Not literally, of course, but how it is used and kind of how it was received. The knot gun, which I also made a video on a while back, has some really good traits, but a couple glaring issues that have made many people turn their backs on the gun. Then again, that's kind of every gun in the game, but also the knot gun is very situational. Want to know what else is a highly situational weapon? That's right, the air rifle. For some maps, it's not good against the average horde, and you'd probably be better off using your melee, preferably the heavy saber, but when you finally see that row of bombers off in the distance, you know the time is right to use it. But anyways, this video is long enough, so how do I end? In conclusion, the air rifle is a highly situational weapon that can work really well in some cases, but it has some glaring issues that can be tweaked. I doubt that my suggested changes will be added, but then again, I know Fezizin has watched at least one of my videos because he commented on it. But yeah, I think the air rifle is pretty good, and I'd give it a nice 8 out of 10 rating. But what do you think of this gun? Well, maybe comment it down below. While you're at it, consider hitting the likes button and subscribing. We're close to 3,300 subscribers. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye. Oh yeah, it's 2025 now. And part of the reason this video took a while was because I was making my own game, along with a couple others. Oh yeah, and I have a channel membership too.